It's Talk Funny, a podcast by Mark Bailey and other losers. I mean, comics from all over. We live and work in Japan and never call our moms, and this is why we will never be funnier.
You blew it!
The Talk Funny podcast from NagoyaRadio.com and Nagoya Comedy.
And you blew it!
It's Talk Funny.
Here's Mark Bailey.
Mark Bailey, Mike Miller on Talk Funny.
Good to be back again.
So, Mike, I notice a lot of people that don't get a lot of things done spend a lot of time on their cell phones.
And you talking about me?
Yep.
You've been watching me?
I'm looking right at you. No, I've noticed this. I mean, I had an interview with a guy for a job interview. I was going to actually dispatch classes. He had a language school. And every 12 seconds, it doesn't matter where he's from. He was from Russia. But every 12 seconds, hang on, you're taking a phone call, taking a phone call, taking a phone call, taking a phone call. And I said, you know, I did schedule an interview with you, right? Like you said we're going to meet between 1 and 2 p.m. It's 1:40 and you've been on your phone a lot. He said, but I'm the boss. And I said, but I don't work for you yet. And
Is this recently?
No, a long time ago.
Oh, a long time ago.
I was trying to get all my contacts for dispatching. What I do is I get a job at an English school, and then I teach a couple of times, and I say, by the way, how about next time I just send one of my guys, and you put the money on my bank account, and I pay the guy. That's how I do the language schools. But he kept taking the phone call, blah, 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 and he goes, I was supposed to have the manual ready for you, but I didn't get it done. And I said, well, I can see why, because you're on the phone all the time, you know. And he goes, so you're disrespectful. And I said, you know, I already decided I don't think it's going to work out, because you're on the phone all the time. And he goes, well, the phone rings, you have to answer it. No, you don't. No, you don't.
You don't.
You have voicemail.
Yeah.
People can text you.
Yeah.
So we had, during a podcast very recently, someone called me, and I try to tell everybody, don't call me, just text me. Because somebody will call me and leave a voice message, and they'll say, I've got something to tell you, call me back. You know what? You could have texted me, or in the message, you could have said, and here's the important thing.
Yes. No. I want your undivided attention. That's what I want.
Now I have to call you back. It happens a lot with schools. We need to ask you about a form. Okay, what form? Now I got to call them. Yeah, we didn't get the form from you. The deadline was the 15th. If you go ahead and send that in, that'd
be great.
You know, but the message said a form. Now I have to call them. What form? You could have told me what form. I could have found it, and I could have sent it to you, and I wouldn't have to call you.
Yeah.
And the worst thing was when we had fax machines, and they would call at my house, leave a message. We're going to send you a fax. Please call us back. Just send the fax! The fax machine knows how to get a fax. And then they send a fax, and then they call. Did you get the fax?
Did you get the fax?
Yeah. You know what? It's been like 30 minutes. You know, the fax.
And then you find out that they put it in the upside down, and you just got like black pages or something, or white pages.
Or they send it 8 times, and now they ran out of ink on their fax machine.
Yeah.
So you're getting just blank sheets.
Yeah.
And then you call them, and they're like, well, we'll send it again. Oh, we'll get you another copy of the memo. No, I got the memo.
Yeah.
There's nothing on the memo. Yeah, so that's why I try to tell people, don't call me. I'm either on a train, which
or
I get
teaching.
I get screamed at by the conductor, and I get all these.
You get the stink eye.
Yeah, the stink eye
from everyone,
from everybody. And I didn't call anybody. You called me, or I'm in class, and I can't do that. That's going on the survey. I don't stand in a park and just talk all day. I wouldn't make any money doing that. Classrooms. It looks like this year, because some people, if they have long COVID or something, some students are not able to come to schools. So we got a memo from most of our schools that said we're going to have cameras in the classroom now.
Oh, that's not good.
What could go wrong there?
Nothing at all. Now that we have deep fakes, absolutely nothing at all could go wrong.
Well, I'm not worried because I'm rarely in the classroom during school.
That blackboard better be worried.
That blackboard better be clean.
They could turn it into a whiteboard, with the deepfake technology.
And I'm against it because there's a thing that the ministry, Monkasho, used to be called Ministry of Education. I think it's Ministry of Science now, right?
I don't know. They change the name every few years.
They send us a survey at schools and universities. We have to fill it out. And it's a thing called active learning. So you don't just give a lecture. You don't give a lecture. You have pair work, group work, research projects, debates, presentations. And that's what I do because the name of my methodology is, can't somebody else entertain the class?
Yes.
Let's have the students entertain.
Talk amongst yourselves. Discuss
North Korean relations.
Discuss North Korean relations.
In English.
Yeah.
I give you an hour to do it. as we mentioned before on podcasts, that's just a lazy textbook writer.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, here's 8 words that you need to practice. Now discuss every time you've ever heard that word. Well, I've never heard that word before. You've got an hour. That's an hour in the lesson plan.
know.
What do
I
I do?
know.
Do it again. Now review.
Review. Yeah, review.
There's nothing to review.
Review.
Write a textbook next time.
Yeah.
Here's a hint. If you write a textbook, have some content.
Yeah. Or they always go, ask your partner a question about, your partner about their last vacation. Instead of just putting the questions, how was your last vacation? What did you do? Where did you go? The students, sometimes when they're lower level, they can't make the connection. Ask your partner about your vacation. Well, what questions do I use? Where's the grammar? Where's the structure? I need a structure,
It's almost
They
like,
can't make sentences out of thin air. They need structure.
It's almost like crowd work. It's like ask your partner what she thinks about you.
Yeah.
Now,
Did she move away?
now she will ask you what you think about her. Did what she said about you match what you thought she was going to say about you? Did what you said about her, what did she say when you said that about her? Like, do you have any content? Is there a lesson here? Or does the valet know her? Do you know her? What was she drinking? What was she wearing?
Don Rickles teaches English as a second language.
What was she wearing? Hey, hockey puck. I'm talking to you. Who, me? No, I'm talking to the wall. Get out of the way.
Well, the thing you learn quickly when you're teaching is that, if you have a bunch of students in the class and you're calling on them one-on-one, like call in that kind of crowd work style, you're only going to get to talk to maybe, 3, 4, 5 students in the course of a class. And the rest of the students are just going to be sitting there staring at you like, what am I supposed to do here?
You know what Asian students really love is being called on, singled out in
They
class.
do love that so much.
It took me a year.
It's not like they freeze it all.
No. It took me a year to realize that, but seriously.
They really like it when you get them to stand up as well so everyone can see and hear them. They really love that.
Come to the front of the class.
Yeah, that's even better. That's an even better idea. Very low stress.
So the problem with cameras in the classroom is, like, I'm not ashamed of the way I teach, but you don't understand. I actually do the active learning. I don't think, administrators don't understand. I've got pair work. I'm walking around the room.
Yeah, monitoring.
Group work. Sometimes group work is in a different classroom.
Mm-hmm.
They're doing presentations. And I had students ask me, why do I have to do presentation? I said, because I'm not a monkey on a string. And I said, you talk all the time in class, so you might as well talk at the front, when it's your turn. He goes, but you didn't do presentations. And I said, if I did a presentation, you'd be talking during it.
Yeah.
And I'd spend all my time
telling you to be quiet.
Telling you to be quiet. So I'm not here to entertain you. I'm here to judge your language ability.
Yeah.
And I can do that by the presentations. Also, I do it with time.
Mm-hmm.
You're supposed to do a 2-minute presentation. You did 2 seconds. I'm glad you're not a pilot. We'll be landing in Honolulu Airport in 2 minutes. I said, so
crash and burn.
How did you prepare this presentation? Because I told you 100 times, everybody, I think you might have this thing called a smartphone, and it might have something called a timer on it. And even if not, you might have something called a watch, or somebody might have something called.
No,
it might be a clock.
It's funny. You have to tell them that. Like a lot of I'm not talking about university students for me, but for junior high and high school students, they're like, "Wow, what a revelation!" Because they all have iPads, and you're like, there's a timer on the iPad, and you can actually time, the other students, and they're like, "Oh, wow, who'd have thought to do that?" It's like,
and I tell them you have to time it before you come, and I said when you do the presentation, you're going to be a little bit faster.
yes.
So it needs to be at least 2 minutes. I'd go 2:30 to 3 minutes.
Yeah.
And you have to time it then. And then they do the presentation, and the guy does like 20 seconds.
Yeah.
What's the other minute and 40 seconds? Huh? Wait, what?
And wait, what? Call back.
But they do it in Japanese. In Japanese, wait, what is? Huh?
Yeah, nani? Honto? Yeah. They do. You gotta tilt your head a little bit to be very. The girls tilt their head to look really cute when they're doing it. Yeah.
Silence.
And the other thing that's a really good idea is if you don't know how to pronounce a word, you look it up before you give your presentation instead of asking the teacher during the presentation.
Yeah.
That's a really good idea.
Well, they're reading this thing, and it's like, my homie Toun Ice Ein Chi. I'm like, you wrote this, right?
Yeah.
Who wrote this?
Just wait for next year. It's going to be all Chat GPT.
Oh, God.
It's coming.
So that's the problem with filming. Universities are used to Japanese teachers. One of my friends calls it Sanaka Sensei. He's actually overweight, and he makes a joke, and he says, Sanaka Sensei is a lecturer. This is back to you. Sanaka means back in Japanese.
Yeah.
It's just for people that don't know.
Yeah.
His back is to you for 90 minutes.
Yeah.
And he's writing on the board, and he's using a slideshow. But foreign teachers, a lot of us are overweight, and we're looking at you. We're Onaka Sensei. We're stomach teachers. You're looking at our stomach.
Senaka Sensei, Onaka Sensei.
And
That's
so
good.
we're not doing lectures. We're all over the room, and we're not on camera. The camera is fixed up in the ceiling on the podium and the whiteboard. And so we're not there. The students are there. Now you've got privacy issues. Now you've got to get consent.
Yes.
You've got, we have to sign these waivers. I'm not going to put students' likeness on the internet.
This is a nightmare.
And you MFers are filming this.
Yeah.
I have no control where this goes.
Well, and
I can't control this film.
And like you said, if it's active learning, they're not going to get anything out of it anyways. They have to be there to participate, right?
Yeah.
Like, I mean, if you were doing another class on Zoom where you could put them in the breakout rooms and they could make groups and stuff like that, you could kind of do that online. But you can't do both at the same time. Walking around the class and managing a class on Zoom, I mean, that's too much.
And they said, well, this is for people students who can't make it because they have long COVID or something. Fine. Whatever happened to on demand, I'll just give them a homework assignment.
Yeah.
They can't possibly participate in my class.
No, but you can record a
not
video.
here.
Yeah, exactly. You could record a video of instructions and put it on, but you can't do it real time, like you said. Like, it doesn't make sense.
So I said to my supervisor, I said, if you want to film my class, you're going to need like a helicopter camera and 4 cameras.
Drones.
In,
Drones
two
going
or
around
three
the room.
different rooms and the hall
Yeah.
and the garden. 'Cause
Yeah.
We're like all over the place. And you're going to need a director, by the way. I'm going to need a SAG card, actually.
You're going to have to pay me this much an hour.
But, they outsourced some company, some Bumble F company.
Yeah.
We don't know their background. And
we don't know how secure it is or
they
where
have
they're
this
posting
video
it.
of us. They have this video of our students, and I don't know what happens
Yeah.
to that. I'm responsible for my students' privacy, and then I don't have any control of this. And they said, well,
Yep.
don't worry. We're going to erase it after 2 weeks. How about you erase it after 2 seconds? How about
Just streaming.
just like a TikTok video?
Yeah. But even
How about
then, it
just-
can be recorded. Anything streaming can be recorded,
yeah,
right?
It's just a bad idea.
It's a bad idea, and I get it. It's designed, like you said, it's designed for those Seneca sensei that just lecture the whole class, and the students don't participate at all in the learning. And like you said, there's that. In Japan, they have the two things. There's the tatemae and the hone. The tatemae is like the way we want it to be, and the hone is the way it is.
Right.
And the tatemae in Japan is we want active learning. The hone in Japan is that we're going to stand in front of the class and lecture because that makes us look like we're doing something. When we're walking around the room, people come and observe and they go, he's not doing anything. What's he doing? Yeah, because you planned the lesson in advance. You set everything up. You gave the instructions to the students. They know what to do. That's part of the job, But they don't see that. They just think, he's not doing anything. He's not lecturing. He's not pointing at the board. He's not showing 500 slides with like 10,000 words of text on each slide.
He's just supervising while they're speaking English to each other. I'm sorry.
And actually learning. Yeah.
Say the last part again?
Yeah,
Speaking
yeah.
English to each other.
Yeah.
Say it again?
Yeah.
Speaking English to each other. Isn't that my job?
Yeah.
They're speaking English to each other. My thesis in linguistics was I could talk to 30 students in my 90 minutes, and they each get a minute or
Yes.
a minute and a half maximum, and it doesn't help them. They don't learn much.
No.
Or I could have them talk to each other for 90 minutes.
Yes.
Or, group work, pair work. And so, that's what I did. But the paranoid Jewy side of me says, okay, if you were able to get enough cameras and you captured my whole lesson on film, why do you need me next year?
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think I want to help you with that.
I mean, there's plenty of job stories like that of teachers that have come to Japan and they're really Genki and they go and work for an English conversation school and they're really, I want to teach the students this and I'm going to make flashcards and I'm going to set up a curriculum and it's going to be like this and they make this amazing curriculum and then the school says, yeah, by the way, we don't need you. Thanks for making the whole curriculum for us.
Can we keep those
And can we
flashcards?
keep all those flashcards and all that stuff that you made with your own time? I mean, so there's stories of teachers that have deleted it on the hard drive and stuff like that and left,
Silicon Valley is famous for that. For a while, they were bringing in with the Indian, I forget what the name of the visa is.
Is H1 visa or something?
They're bringing in Indians who are, extremely competent, but they needed to be trained. And these guys that worked at Silicon Valley, they said, no, he's your assistant. You train him. We teach him everything you know. And then they fired the guy who trained him.
Because they work
And
for
they
less.
pay him less.
Yeah.
Yeah. First of all, I don't want to be on film. I mean, who knows what this company is doing?
You don't know.
They're not vetted by me.
Do they have an app or something, or are they just streaming live
It's
to a
just
website?
Some outsourced company. I don't even know the name of it.
It's probably going to be one of those things that's going to go so wrong that they're going to cancel it. I hope, anyways.
But I'm just going to bring black tape or just put it on the camera.
Get a little
So, sorry,
laser.
your camera
Get a little
didn't work.
laser pointed, like in the old
that's a good idea.
caper movies.
Just
Get your
the-
laser pointer.
Get the laser and go.
Oh, what
here-
happened to the CCD? The CCD's broken.
Do it until you smell it burning. Smell something burning. It's the camera. I just put some black tape on there. I'm sorry your camera didn't work. It's a shame. Be ashamed if something happened to that camera.
Yeah.
Take that camera. Hey, try that camera at the Simogako where I worked. It'd be stolen.
Yeah, exactly. No, you know what you should say? You should say to them, in the nature, for transparency purposes, I really think that we also need cameras in the office where you guys are doing your work, so we
Yeah,
can see
perfect.
how you're sending your emails and how hard you're working. I think the parents really want to see, and the students want to see how hard you're working. So we're going to put a camera on every desk right in front of you to monitor you the whole day,
Yeah.
and we're going to stream that live to this website of this company that we don't know what the company's going to do with it.
good
So how do
idea.
you feel about that?
It's a good idea. See how you like it.
Yeah.
Or how about we don't have the likeness of the students, we just photograph every desk in the classroom and what's on that desk. It would be like a cell phone and a cup of ramen. And then we just advertise that for the university. This is what our students are doing in class. You'll notice there's no paper, there's no pen, there's no notebook, there's no dictionary, there's no electronic dictionary. It's some chopsticks and some ramen and some coffee and
They're
a
all wearing,
cell phone.
and they're all wearing furry slippers and stuff. And
sometimes it's their head on the
jogging
desk
pants.
because they're sleeping in class. We have to close with this. We had a university that a teacher, a guy that you know, kind of a creepy guy, and we complained
Oh,
about
I
him
think I
before,
know
the guy
who.
with the lab coat.
Yeah.
And he got in trouble because of the way he woke, and I'm on his side on this one, the way he woke up a sleeping student. And they had a meeting on it, and they said, you didn't wake her up in the correct way.
Mm-hmm.
He goes, but she was sleeping. You just wake her up or you don't. And they said, yeah, but the way you did it was just rude. He goes, well, sleeping in class is not rude?
Yeah.
And I was there, and I just bit my tongue because I wanted to keep my job. But I wanted to say, any suggestions? And they said, any suggestions? I wanted to say, maybe you should just put this proudly in your manual. This is the correct way to wake up our students. So I think the problem is that your students are sleeping in class.
Yeah.
Not the way you wake them up. Maybe you could tell students, maybe don't sleep in class.
Yeah.
Maybe that would help.
I don't know.
Does that help? To quote
Yeah.
Bob Saget, is that helpful?
Is it helpful? Yeah. Is that helpful to you?
Mark Bailey's
Maybe
here for
do
you.
the LSD after the
show.
act.
Yeah, and I couldn't believe it. A lot of Japanese teachers will tell you this. If you say, I have Japanese students sleeping in my class, and I really want to punch somebody when they say this, Japanese teacher will say, oh, I guess your class isn't exciting enough. Oh, and yours is, Mr. Senaka-sensei? Yours is?
Yeah. No, they're
you.
not. They're not even looking at the students. They're just looking at the blackboard. They don't even know if
You
they're
don't know
asleep.
they're sleeping.
Yeah.
And my comeback now is I say, yeah, I teach them after 12th grade. Thanks to all you Japanese teachers, that's how they learn to sleep in class.
Yeah.
By the way, how interesting were you if they learned to sleep in class during your class?
Right.
So, by the way, I'm not here to entertain them. Are we here to entertain them? And I've seen you teach. You show movies. So Steven Spielberg is actually teaching. Mark Bailey, Mike Miller, Talk Funny.